Day 155. It's just about 10 o'clock. I guess got dropped off at East Flagstaff Road and I'm headed north with a pack. It is, I think, like 21 miles to Caratunk, which is the next sort of little town. I could have probably done it in one day, but the problem is the Kennebec River, I think that's how you say it. There's a ferry, if you want to call it that. The Appalachian Trail folks have someone who operates a canoe and takes you across the river. It's a pretty big river with a dam upstream. Sometimes they release water, so it's dangerous to try and even ford it. I think it's, 100 or 200 yards across. So that guy who does the canoe, he operates from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. So you'd have to start really early if you wanted to make it before 2 p.m., which wasn't happening today. So I think I'm going to go, we'll see. I have my tent and everything, but my plan is to go, there's sort of a hunting camp. I think it's called Pierce Pond Camps or something like that, that maybe has some tents or log cabins or something, that is 16 or 17 miles. And so the plan is to go there and spend the night there, and then I'll just have 3 or 4 in the morning to the Kennebec River and get my canoe ride across. So that's the next couple of days. So tomorrow will be a really easy day and be sort of a narrow little pond crossing here. And if you believe everything everyone says, supposedly easy trail for the next few days. So we'll see. Big lake. This is just maybe half mile since I started. Flagstaff Lake. It's huge. This is West Carey Pond. I wonder what it takes to be called a lake in Maine. I think it was the last one was Flagstaff Lake. Must be a certain size or something, because this isn't like any pond that I've ever been familiar with. West Carey Pond. Still on West Carey Pond. A nice spot for a break, huh? Nice clean water. 5:30. This is Pierce Pond. I'm pretty close to where I'm stopping for the night. Doesn't look very big. I just looked at it on the map, and I bet Pierce Pond is 20 or 30 miles long at least, maybe more. Huge. This is just the very end of it. Goes back in that direction. Like I said, probably 30 miles. Beautiful. And hopefully, I'm fairly near camp. Looks like there's a waterfall coming up. It's like a little outflow creek. That's the trail right there. This is that same outflow creek, river from Pierce Pond. Good morning. It is day 156 and I'm just packing up my campsite here. My tent was right there and I'm headed that way. You can see the sun is poking over the mountains. It's about 7:15 this morning, and I had planned actually to stay about a mile back at a place, I think I mentioned it, Pierce Pond Camps, I think it's called, kind of a hunting camp setup. I think they've got some cabins, they serve breakfast, so I was looking forward to that. And I got there last night at 5 o'clock, and the guy who was there, we'll say he was the friendliest guy in the world, to put it politely, but told me they were full and had no space, even though I'd emailed them 2 days beforehand, and someone told me to come on down, that they were going to have room. The guy that was there last night said he was computer illiterate to me. So I don't know what the story was, but it was a good thing. I thought about not packing my tent and sleeping bag and pad because I was planning on staying in one of their cabins. So it's a good thing I did, and the good news is that I'm actually a mile closer to the Kennebec Ferry canoe crossing, and I should be ahead of most of the other thru hikers this morning. They can only take 2 at a time in the canoe. One person paddles, one person sits, and then the guy who has the canoe is the other paddler. So they only take 2 at a time, and I'm actually in a pretty big bubble of thru hikers right now. Seems like I saw maybe 10 yesterday. I'm sure there's more around. I think most of them camped about 2 miles back at the shelter. There was a really nice shelter that was on a pond, Pierce Pond. So I should be ahead of most of them and be one of the first people in line for the canoe, which doesn't start till 9, and I'm only probably less than an hour away from it, so I'll probably have to wait a little bit. But just 2 miles there, cross the river, and then my car is waiting there. So it might be the easiest, shortest through hiking day yet. And then I'll get back at it tomorrow, provided well, I may do it anyway, but the weather's not supposed to be great the next 2 days, so I'll have to think about that, how to work that out. It's 2 days to Monson, and then 5, 6, 7 days through the 100-mile wilderness to Caratunk. So I'm getting there. That was a little risky. Take a fall in the river first thing in the morning wouldn't have been fun, or the creek. All of the creeks this time of year, I don't know if it's normal or it's just been really dry, but they're all really low. I haven't actually had to take my shoes off or actually had to walk in water to ford a creek yet, which from what I understand is not normal if it's earlier in the year. You know, if you're coming through here in August even, from what I understand, you need to ford some of these creeks where you have to take your shoes and socks off or just wade through with your shoes on and get wet. But I've managed to rock hop everything so far, minus all the mud, which actually hasn't been too bad either the last couple of days. Not sure how you get down there, maybe down that way. But this, according to the trail notes, is the sweetest swimming spot on the entire AT. It's like a big pool there, and kind of smooth, pebbly bottom too, a lot of it. But it's late September and 8 in the morning, and I'm not even going to try to walk down there. But if it was July and 2 in the afternoon, it would be pretty inviting. Not so much now. There you can just see the Kennebec River. You can see it's not your average creek I've been rock hopping across. And it's obviously late in the year. So it's pretty low, but you still wouldn't want to try and rock hop across it. Please use the ferry. I'm going to use the ferry. I got about half an hour to wait, I think. Pretty nice morning, huh? Now I can see where it would be tempting to try and wade across or get across without the canoe. But there's supposed to be a dam up there somewhere that releases water every once in a while. There we go. You guys don't care if you're on camera, do you?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Kennebec? Is that what it's called?
Kennebec.
Kennebec River. Ferry. Getting in here?
Kennebec.
Poles? No?
Oh, yeah. Yep. You're going to get right over here.
Yep.
Yeah. Let me move the canoe just a little bit so you want to make sure you're sitting right in the middle of the
Paddling.
You're proud of everybody's like social media and stuff.
One-handed paddling.
This side of the Kennebec River. Just came across.
Make sure she doesn't try to fall in if you head off.
Okay, cool.
Here's Maggie. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And then you can see the 3 other guys waiting on the other side. I paddled in front. Pretty cool. One of those other big milestones that on the AT, taking the canoe across the Kennebec River. Very cool.